and welcome to our special CEO Roundtable series, India at 75, Opportunities and Challenges, presented by PMI in association with CNBC TV18. Through this special three-part series, we are collecting ideas for a new India, an India that's set to emerge as a global superpower. While the challenges are many, from infrastructure development to job creation, sustainable growth, inclusive growth, the opportunities are also bigger than ever before. So today I'm joined by some eminent personalities from the national capital, and we are here to discuss India at 75. Let's welcome our panel for the day. Starting from my right, Sanjay Banga, Vice President, Power Management, Contracts and Business Development, TATA Power-DDL Distribution; I.S. Jha, Chairman and Managing Director, Power Grid Corporation of India; Raj Kaladi, Managing Director, PMI India; Manish Kumar, MD and CEO of National Skill Development Corporation; and Rajiv Dutt, Senior Advisor, National Capital Region Transport Corporation. Welcome, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you here to discuss ideas for India at 75. One of the major goals for India at 75 is power for all. 24/7 uninterrupted power for all. Mr. Jha, I'd like to open the discussion by asking you, how achievable is that target? Is it rather ambitious, considering we are a billion plus of us?
It will be certainly a new India from power sector point of view, because it is going to have a 24/7 power. We have already program in place for having access to electricity to all our households, and there will be a national grid connecting all corner of the country. It will be very flexible. In fact, it is already in place. Today, there is a one nation, one grid, one price. A further strengthening is going on, so the power can be made available from the cheaper source to that wherever the power is required. Thirdly, major in generation point of view, the renewable contribution is going to be huge, because we have the target of 175 gigawatts. That should be in place. It is going very well, and with that we have the 33% penetration from the renewable energy, and more or less, more importantly, distribution, which is the weakest portion, that is being addressed strongly with the two flagship programs, Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Vidyut Yojana and IPDS, right, so that the generation, transmission, distribution, access to all households, this will certainly give the new shape of the electricity. One important thing is coming up in the next 5 years is electric vehicle, because that is also going to be connected to the grid, and I think that there is a lot of focus on the electric vehicle and battery storage. Not only that, our railway, a lot of focus being given to electrify all the unelectrified portion of the railway. That's from power sector point of view. From electricity sector point of view,
right,
certainly it is going to be the new India.
Okay, so let's also, bring in the private sector at this point, and I know Tata Power is contributing to that vision as well. Tata Power Delhi Distribution was able to bring down its technical and commercial losses from a record 53% at inception to 8.5%. So perhaps there are lessons in there for all of us on how to increase efficiencies in large-scale public projects, and would you like to share some of the best practices that you put in to achieve this?
We had a roadmap, we planned a roadmap in 2004 that how we have to address all these problems. The problem of operational and commercial efficiencies, the problem of absence of technology and infusing new technologies. So that roadmap we started implementing. We took resources from outside also, but the most important part was we transformed the existing resources and make them more productive. We deployed the latest technologies which were available there, like SCADA system, distribution system. We mapped all the assets so that we know where our assets are lying. We started utilizing them. We used technologies very extensively and leveraged those technologies to reduce losses from 53 to 8%.
Wonderful. Let me get opening comments from everyone. Manish, perhaps one of the biggest challenges for India now and even at 75 will be the creation of jobs, relevant jobs for our youth, considering 65% of our population is below the age of 35 years. So we have a vision, we have the National Skilling India mission. It's a great plan on paper, but what are the biggest challenges in implementing this over the next 5 years?
I think it won't be right to link skilling with employment. These are two different issues.
Right.
However, because of the fact that this is a wonderful opportunity, we are in a curve, as you said, where there are a lot of young people. We need to keep them skilled enough that the moment the economy provides them opportunity, you can capitalize on that. So as of now, when we look at the capacity, we have about 12 million people entering workforce every year.
Right.
Of that, probably half of them would need some level of skilling, because the other half would probably want to go into education, other things in life. We have capacity for almost 3 to 4 million, and then we need to expand that. Also, I think another challenge for us is let's take power. Now, there are different schemes of government going on. I'll focus on one of them, which is Saubhagya, again, taking power to rural India.
Right.
We have noticed in a recent discussion with REC, Rural Electrification Corporation, that they require 60,000 people trained in 6 states. So we are now working together with them,
right.
partnering with them, that can we train 60,000 for you, so that you can employ them for the purpose of taking power to everyone in India by 2022.
Okay. And as far as urban transport is concerned, Rajiv, you're engaged in building the RRTS, that's the Regional Rapid Transport System across the National Capital Region. It is the need of the hour. The idea, however, is not a very new one. It can be dated as far back as 98, 99. We are 20 years down the line. Why does it take so long for public sector projects to take off? Where's the accountability? How can we increase it?
I think let's not dwell on the past.
Sure.
Let's look ahead.
Okay.
And as you said, this is an idea whose time should have come long back. But now that the project has taken off, and one thing we have to keep in mind is what is going to drive growth in the future. It's urbanization. I came across an interesting statistic. There are 46 urban clusters which contribute to 77% of the GDP. If we don't have the backbone, like power is the backbone for the economy, transport is the other backbone for the economy. If we don't have the transport networks in place, we will run into a wall. Keeping that in mind, this project was conceived.
Right.
Now, we don't look at Delhi as an area, we look at the region. This region, I think in the next 10 years will probably be a $1 trillion economy with 50 million people or 60 million people living here.
Right.
Our aim is to lay this network of about 400 kilometers. What Delhi Metro did for Delhi, we want to do for this region. We plan to move people at much higher speeds than they do at road, and in much greater comfort.
Right.
The average speed of our system is going to be 100 kilometers an hour. So imagine somebody living in Meerut. In 1 hour, he's in Delhi, does his work and goes back. And he has a train every 5 to 7 minutes. So he need not book, or he need not worry about when the next train is going to come. Secondly, our network, we plan to integrate with all the other mass transport networks in Delhi, whether it is the interstate bus terminuses, Delhi Metro, the railway stations, and the airport.
Great.
So I think in the next 8 to 10 years, we will probably see an integrated network which will transform the National Capital Region. And hopefully this will then get replicated across the country.
Okay, great. So, Raj, you've heard some of the challenges from the different sectors. How does project management play a crucial role in each of these? What is it that each of these sectors can achieve if they really implement project management successfully?
But one of the biggest challenges which we have is typically our inability to plan. And plan, when I say plan, it's a little more detailed planning and anticipating what could go wrong, and therefore making correction in the plan itself for all those things which could probably go wrong, and then implement them. Because barring a few examples which we have, like the Delhi Metro or the Konkan Railway or a couple of projects from the private industry, there are more projects which have delays than which have been done on time. And therefore, what happens especially when you look at a public project, the impact of the delay is far, far higher than the cost of the delay itself for the project, because the benefits of the project is not being realized by the civic society at large. And therefore, the importance which project management has to play in ensuring that people understand the planning process, identifying the risk and making out a risk mitigation plan, and then monitoring the entire project in the entire life cycle to its completion, it becomes very, very important.
Right. Mr. Jha, in the government sector, how seriously do you take project management? Do you invest heavily into having certified, qualified project managers on various projects?
Yeah, certainly we have. As you know, the Power Grid is quite good in the project management. If you take the example of 12th plant, we have crossed all the targets. Like capex, we have done more than 1 lakh crore. Well, target was 1 lakh, we have done 1,10,000. Circuit kilometer, we have installed 43,000 kilometer of circuit kilometer compared to the target of 40,000. In all the aspects we have conscious. The major issue in the project management is what I feel like in Saubhag, etc., what you are referring, is in India, the major issue comes to the planning. Planning the major. Power Grid puts a lot of effort in the planning. Because in planning, first thing is coming that all the stakeholders should be aligned with the objective. This is the first part. And then we have to do the resource planning.
Okay, so a lot of emphasis on planning and execution. But Sanjay, at Tata Power-Delhi Distribution, what were those aspects of project management that you implemented that really enabled that turnaround of lessening your losses?
What we do in Tata Power is we involve the users in the project so that when the project is delivered, the user knows the benefit of that, and when the project is delivered, he accepts that project eagerly and starts reaping the benefit of that.
All right, so on that note, we're going to take a short break, but after that, we will delve deeper into planning and execution of large-scale projects for India at 75. You're watching our special CEO Roundtable series, India at 75, Opportunities and Challenges, only on CNBC TV 18. Welcome back. You are watching our special series, India at 75, Opportunities and Challenges on CNBC TV 18. Manish, before the break, we spoke a little bit about the skills gap. What sort of public-private partnerships are needed to bridge the skills gap, and what sort of a mindset change do you want both from public as well as private stakeholders in this respect?
Going forward, we require to move into a different level, and this is something which we are trying at this point of time. Which is that how about raising skill to a new level so that there is greater social acceptability of skills. So we have to make skills aspirational. At the moment, I think there is a kind of a feeling that somebody who has failed class 12 will get into skills. There is, unlike other countries, you go to Finland, you go to Germany, where you find actually people making that choice right up front that, well, I'm not interested in academics, I'm going the skill pathway because that's what I enjoy. So I think we have to bring that, and to bring that, we are helping open skill universities. So you'll find number of skill universities gradually opening up. The industry connect to the skill university is very critical because eventually people who come out from this university have to be in some way very closely skilled in a way that relates to that industry. And then people changing their belief system about why the children should actually get into skilling. I think that's those are two important things going forward.
Raj, what is the extent to which, if there are percentage terms that you can share, what is the extent to which risks and losses can be mitigated in public sector projects if enough time is spent on planning?
Extremely important when you talk from a public sector perspective or government perspective, that we really look at it from a, try and figure a way out to see beyond the horizon and see what is coming. And therefore try and build for that capacity and ensure that we can therefore meet the future as you go along. The other important element, as you asked me, is the fact that once you plan, we can surely anticipate risks. I'm not saying that we will be able to anticipate all the risks 100%, but at least most of the known risks we can contemplate. Project management is not going to give you a 100% success for 100% cases, right. But at least it will provide a higher level of predictability and higher level of repeatability in terms of ensuring the projects are getting completed.
Right. And Mr. Jha, you're a champion of sustainable, eco-friendly development. You've set an astounding pace of grid development at PGCIL. And I know that you also believe in minimum gestation time from conception to execution. So how in that case do you achieve a synergy between planning in detail and executing perfectly?
If you see the different steps of project management, one planning part we have discussed. Then the selection of good contractor. In public sector, one limitation is you have to give the L1. L1 is cheaper, you have to give. If they are not good, they will be stuck. And it's very, very important that how you make the QR. Like in power grid, you make the QR perfectly, so the sufficient person should come. At the same time, the person who are not doing well should not be considered. That's why we do two parts. Technical bid, because once you open the price bid, we cannot reject them, because then it will be litigation, etc. Technical bid, we select the good part, and then put the price bid, and then go. Once contract is taken care, your good contractor is in place. After that, you have to play the role of how to facilitate the contractor, like timely amendment, timely things, specification, timely the resource provision. But one important part here in India, like you are saying, Jugaad, where we are missing as a whole, is not taking good care of safety. Jugaad is just opposite to safety. Third, last part is very important. Is in India, closing of the project is very, very weak. If you see the contract of all the public sector, the contract project is not closed for last 10 years, though project is commissioned. Due to that, the contractor, bank guarantee, etc., all are stuck. That's why this closing, then the safety, third the contract, and then planning. These four aspects is very important for project execution.
Wonderful. All right, so we are completely running out of time on the episode, so I'm going to close by asking each one of you for quick ideas for India, envision India at 75, and share that one thought, that one step perhaps that India can take to achieve a new, emerging India for 2022. And Rajiv, if we can begin with you in 30 seconds, that one idea for India at 75, that's a low-hanging fruit.
Marry urbanization, skills, and technology. I think if we get our act together, marry all three, we would be a developed nation maybe in 15 or 20 years.
All right, easier said than done, but Manish?
I think to encourage this culture of skills and the fact that you should take it formally, not be the typical Jugaad culture that often people overlook safety, and I think continuously keep a focus on that, including people who are already skilled, where we have a program called Recognition of Prior Learning that deals only with issues like safety and actually takes them to a next level.
Okay, Raj?
So the way I look at it is that we may not achieve it by 2022, but at least by 2022, if we can be known as a country which executes projects on time and has a whole lot of people who can execute projects on time and become, therefore, the world looks at us as the source of people who can deliver projects, I think we would have achieved a major dream.
All right. Mr. Jha?
I will repeat that. Focused project management with a lot of mechanization. Certainly we'll get the speed. We have done earlier also, because if you see the generation in 10th plan, 9th plan, we are never able to cross the 20,000 megawatt in 5 years. Now we are doing more than 100 gigawatt in 5 years. We can achieve it. But focused project management, all stakeholders should focus on that. But a lot of mechanization also need to be bring in.
All right. Sanjay?
Well, I will say, if you see the last 5 years or so, in country has become from power deficit to the power surplus. So we have enough power available to given to all. But unfortunately, if we see still around 20% are not having power. I see in next 5 years, power for actually is the reality. The government programs are focusing there. If you see the chain of that, the generation sector is doing really well. The transmission, we have the one grid, as Mr. Jha said, and constant. The distribution sector is still a sector which is not doing extremely well. I expect that in the next 5 years, more and more private sector and the competition coming into this sector, and actually the power is made available for 24 hours to all citizens of this country.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you for your ideas for India at 75. With that, it's a wrap of this edition of India at 75 coming to you from New Delhi. We'll be back next time with another episode from Kolkata with some eminent personalities from that historic city. Until then, goodbye and thanks for watching.